We already knew the animation of this episode would be amazing since it's from Shaft, but holy son of otakus, that freaking animation with the sky, the stars. Did you all stare at that beauty of the way Shaft drew the animation in this episode? It was so beautiful. I mean, the facial expressions, even though we had some weird expressions with face that look kind of weird with the animation, the beautiful tendencies of how Shaft makes the background in this anime is just so stunning. I say it almost in every review of Nisekoi, but it really needs to be mentioned. Shaft puts a lot of damn work in their series. They really do, and I feel like I need to give them props to that, because the animation, once again, just felt so freaking over budget. Like, it beat Kill Ani in certain aspects, honestly. The face expression, when you get to see Chitoge see Raku save her, and you see that animation just change, I was like, oh, that is like a freaking, like, major animation film that's been in the works for like a year or two. That's just how beautiful it looked. So, off the topic of animation, that was just downright freaking crazy. Like, I mean, literally any person that wants animation would drool at this episode. So, we had some major character development. Actual really good character development between Chitoge and Raku. For one thing, they actually are on a first name basis now. They're actually calling each other by their first name, Chitoge and Raku. We don't have, Gorilla, but it's gonna be sad, not seeing it anymore. Anyways, what I want to get at is pretty much getting to see how Chitoge is really growing fond of Raku, and she's starting to see the actual different connections with her past, with her first love. Like, when she was in the past, she was trapped in a crevice, to where she couldn't get out of it, and she actually was crying, and when the boy from her past, her first crush, saved her. We all know by now, it's pretty much downright freaking obvious that it's Raku. I mean, he has a scar on his forehead, the hairstyle looks the same, the freaking little boy's in the damn opening song. We see it, so it's obvious. It really is obvious that, Chitoge is the promised girl to Raku, and, the promised boy to Chitoge is Raku. So, let's just pull out all those assumptions. That's already obvious at this point, so I really don't need to go into that one anymore. What I can get at, though, is the way they developed as a really good couple. When we first started this series, Chitoge was just a downright, I hated her. The character was just terrible. I couldn't stand her on the screen because the way her entire attitude was towards Raku. That was a very nice main character. But after the multiple episodes we've seen her develop, I've grown quite attached to her. I'm actually starting to love her more than Onodera, and that is a good thing. Onodera in this episode, I actually want to get to the topic of her. She was wanting to be with Raku, going through the woods, and just, going with the ghost, trying to scare him. But getting to see how Raku gave up his entire walk with her, holding hands, to go save Chitoge in the darkness, was a major character improvement. We see how Raku truly is for who he is. He may love Onodera. He loves Onodera. We see him crushing on her all the time, thinking about her. But he went to go save Chitoge, a person that he always picks on, calls a gorilla, whatever, person you think he wouldn't like, but actually went to save her. He dropped his entire romance bonding with the atmosphere to save Chitoge, and that was a beautiful character development. I think it was portrayed well in this episode. The pacing of this episode was well done by Shaft, and I really have no complaints on this episode. The only complaint I can have, and it's just me nitpicking as an actual anime reviewer, it's just that we see a lot of these cliches with, walking through a forest of darkness and getting to see how the female character gets lost and gets saved by the male character. That's really the only thing I have to complain about. Besides that, this episode was great. I enjoyed the facial reactions with Chitoge and Onodera. It was beautiful. The blushing scenes were beautiful. You gotta love all the way the actual kimono that Chitoge was in, the ghost kimono, that was really cool. I love the way the kimono looked. I feel like this episode could not have been any better with the emotions and atmosphere Shaft managed to pull off with the backgrounds. The backgrounds really made the characters stand out in this episode, and I feel like that's why I enjoyed it so much. I will tell you once again, I was drooling at that screen because the animation was just, oh my god. So, anyways, tell me your thoughts on this episode of Nisekoi. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite moment? What did you feel about the character development? What did you feel about Raku giving up holding hands with Onodera to go save Chitoge? What did you think about the embarrassment with the Doki Doki of Chitoge's heart pounding really fast, looking at Raku? Anyways, everybody, you have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.